Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I'm Scott Luthold. Well, we're into mid-April, and we've been working on a lot of projects here at the cabin, trying to get things done for the wedding. We get married in less than 2 months, and we're going to be having about 100 people here, and we'll be getting married right here on this brand new deck that we just built. We've decided, over the course of the last couple of weeks, we've decided to hold off on building the chapel, as I mentioned in the last video. It just is too much work, too much to get done in a short period of time. The cost of materials is just too high. So we decided to go ahead and get things done here on the cabin, and I think we're going to be happy with just doing that and getting married right here. It should be really beautiful. We've been working on the tongue and groove on the inside of the cabin. We've been traveling around and getting huge 8 by 8 by 16 foot long rough sawn beams. And we've been working here on this deck, and we'll be getting it done hopefully in the next day or two. I'm hoping before I put this episode up, we'll have the whole cabin front here done, the deck and the porch cover. So that should be a lot of fun, and it should be a really beautiful thing and a really beautiful development here at the cabin. It's been pretty beautiful out. The weather's been wonderful. We've had some really high winds though, and about 17 to 20 miles southeast of here as the crow flies, there's been a forest fire burning. Fortunately for us, the weather has been blowing from the northwest going southeast, so all of the wind's been blowing toward the fire. None of that's been burning toward us, and from what I understand, between us and that fire, there's 2 barren, rocky ridges. So we're pretty safe here, but I really am concerned about all the people that live down in Springer and Okatee and those areas. And it's been a pretty good sized fire. There's 2 hotshot crews on it. It was a little bit daunting for us because there's this huge plume of smoke that comes up over the ridge to the southeast of us. But it's a lot further away than it seems. So all in all, we're safe here. There's also another big fire burning down in Ruidoso, New Mexico, which is about a 5.5 hour drive south of here. So we've not had any forest fires here in the immediate area, and let's hope it stays that way. There are fire bans. There are, like I said, very high winds. We have not had a lot of rain lately. I'm hoping that May brings a lot of rain, and into June we'll have a beautiful green summertime here for the wedding. Anyhow, I really look forward to sharing this episode with you, so sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, well, first things first. Now that we finished up the walls, I'm going to go ahead and put the trim on this window up above here. We're not going to do the trim on the door right now because we want to lay down the tile before we do the trim. The trim on the door will be the last thing we do.
While Scott is inside getting some work done, getting prepped ready for what we are going to be doing to the addition in our bedroom, I am out here staining all of our aspen pieces that we got. We're going to do the tongue and groove. We are still unsure if we're going to do the actual tongue and groove with the little edges like traditional. If we flip it over, as you can see, it's flat on both edges here. So if we put them together, it's a little bit more like a shiplap look versus the tongue and groove. So uncertain of which way. I think we're going to go with traditional just because it's really a classic look, but we are going to be using espresso finish. I think that the consensus is that the board color is beautiful. I like it. We're a little concerned it might be too dark, but I think that if we decorate with a bunch of fun colors, we use like turquoises and corals and rusts, it's going to be really pretty in our bedroom, and it'll just like make it feel warm and cozy to all times of the year. But here it is.
Heather went out this morning and she picked up 25 sheets of this beautiful aspen tongue and groove, and she's going ahead and getting it stained. We're using, what is it, mocha? Espresso. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got some nice fresh pieces of aspen tongue and groove, and over here you can see where she's already stained them. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on the walls in the bedroom. So that's what we're going to work on next. We're going to wait on the tile floors just a while, mainly because the tile's really light color and the grout's a light color. We don't want to be tracking in, doing a lot of construction work, so we're going to hang off and do that a little bit later. I'll probably go ahead and put some OSB on the ceilings in the bathroom, because then we're going to cover over that with a bead board, and then we'll be done with the ceilings in there. Well, I tell you one thing. We're getting pretty tired of living in a construction zone. As you can see here, we've got our light fixture here for the bathroom. We've got our bathroom vanity out here in the hallway. We have our mirror out here in the hallway. Bedroom looks really nice, although our window coverings aren't done, our walls aren't done, our ceiling's not done, our floors aren't done. In here, we're getting things far along, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear all this stuff out of here. We're gonna move the vanity and everything back in here for now so we can start working on the hallway walls.
Looks great.
It does kind of look like we're in a ship.
I know. We're gonna have to name this bedroom. Looks great.
And our slippers.
Oh yeah, we did all of this in our fancy slippers.
All right, well, there you go. We got all of that staining done. We had 50 boards. This is about 40 of them. We have another 10 around the other side of the cabin. These will require about 24 hours to dry, and then we'll start putting them in. All right, now that we're done with that, we're considering taking down the Lonesome Dove sign. On April 15th, that'll mark the anniversary of the first time I stepped foot on this property. So it's probably time we take the sign down, especially considering it's no longer called Lonesome Dove Cabin. Kind of melancholy about it a little bit, but it's time. So my only hesitation with taking this sign down is the fact that it's probably been up there for a number of years, and all of the log around it has weathered quite a bit, so there might be a rectangle that's left behind of lighter colored wood, but we'll probably put our own sign up here eventually. We got to find somebody locally that'll paint a sign like that. Have them paint something up there that says Songbird Cabin on it. Stiff.
I mean, we have the dark
Oh,
stain.
yeah, it's covered.
Oh, it's just with like roofing nails, those little teeny guys?
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably going to be wondering why we didn't do it sooner.
Probably. Oh gosh, that's it?
That's it.
Well, what do we call that? The anticlimactic.
You want to grab the other end? Yeah. Well, you can step up on that rung.
Stand.
Ready?
Ta-da-ta-da. Oh dear. Yay!
And there we go. Lonesome Dove no more.
Goodbye for now.
Well, now we're done with all that, I can come in here and show you all the work we've been doing on the tongue and groove on the walls. It's coming together and looking really nice. Working on this wall over here. Got it coming up under the window, all the way over to the corner over there. Get this going all the way up to the ceiling. Snowing out.
Crazy. Yesterday it was like we got a suntan, weed whacking the yard.
That's right. And then this morning, the wind was blowing so hard that I thought these gigantic trees were going to tip over.
Oh my gosh.
And now it's snowing.
That would be atrocious.
Bizarre.
Beautiful work, honey.
What'd you call this? My kindergarten skill set?
Second grade skills. Because you don't use this song kindergarten. It looks beautiful. Let's go. See the handiwork so far. How's your second grade skills?
Look at that. First try's a charm.
Fabuloso, babe. Love you.
No, he might fly away yet. Let's get something from the sit-in that's comfy.
Poor little thing. You think his little wing looks like it's hurt? That little wing?
Yeah, I think he hurt himself pretty good. I don't think we put him out of his misery. I think we need to leave him. Well, my friends, I got some good news and I've got some bad news. The bad news first. The bad news is that I've decided not to host the Eco Adventure Fest in 2022 here in Angel Fire, New Mexico. I had been planning on hosting a big outdoor adventure event here. I expected about 2,000 people to participate, and I had already talked to the village mayor. I talked to the executives at the ski resort, and everybody was on board. I even had a vote coming up to acquire a sizable amount of cash from the Lodgers Tax Association of Angel Fire to help me promote and market the event. Unfortunately, my good buddy Damon, who I've become very close friends with here in Angel Fire, he's I would say my best friend here in Angel Fire. Well, he has accepted a job in Louisiana. You know, this whole Adventure Fest thing that he and I partnered on started out, it was kind of just a hobby. But we expected that it was going to develop into a full-blown event. Anyhow, he has accepted this job and he'll be leaving in June, which is really sad for both Heather and I and a lot of other people here because they're just such a wonderful family, and it's really nice to have them here. Because he's decided to move and because I've got a wedding coming up and a lot of other things going on here at the cabin, getting things done for the wedding, I have just decided that it's just too much for me to handle putting on events this year. So I'm postponing it until 2023. And I'm not sure exactly what that's going to look like and who's going to be involved, but it'll definitely be a sponsored event, an event sponsored by 4 Expedition. But at the present time, I've decided to hold off. I've got about 2 solid months of work here to do at the cabin to get it prepared for the wedding. And then after that, Heather and I have decided to take a nice vacation. We're going for 11 days down to Tulum, Mexico. Really, really excited about that. And then when we get back from there, we got a few projects here to do at the cabin. We're going to do some outdoor adventures, travel around, go see some things. And, if I decide that I'm going to put on this event next summer, then I'll start working on that in the fall, because I feel like putting on a big event like that is something that needs to be done way, way in advance. And as it stands right now, we're only 4 months out from that, or less than 4 months out from that date that I had scheduled for August. And we still don't even have the land secured. We've hardly just started to scratch the surface of talking to vendors and things like that. And a lot of these people have already booked themselves with other events. And so I feel like it's something I need to put together with a year of time to prepare and a year of time to market. And if I start working on it this fall and plan on having it next summer, by maybe February or March of 2023, I should have all the vendors, all of the exhibitors, all of the instructors, and everybody secured by that time. And so once that's done and I can start really truly marketing it and getting some interest from a lot of outdoor adventure people such as yourself, then I'll have plenty of time for people to be able to prepare for that. And I just don't feel like people have enough time to prepare for it right now. A lot of my friends that participate in these kinds of events have already secured their admission passes and camping and so forth for other events. And so it's just not something I think is wise for me to put on. And what's really interesting about this development is this. I told you in the last video that we really need to take the time and figure out what truly matters and not take on so much, and really sit back and focus on what things are really important in your life to be working on and spending your time on. And I tell you what, I have just backed off tremendously. As I also mentioned in the last video, I was going to build a chapel. I wanted to build a 40 by 60 barn. I wanted to get my well drilled. I mean, I wanted to put on this event. We were going to host a wedding. And now I've backed off so much where all I have to focus on is getting this cabin done and hosting a beautiful wedding and going on a honeymoon. And after that, my time is free and clear for me to really truly sit back and focus on what it is I truly want to invest my time and energy into. In some ways, that's hosting a cool event and helping bring prosperity to my local community and shedding light on the incredible outdoor adventure opportunities that are had here or can be had here. But then at the same time, I'm not really sure if that's truly my calling. Do I want to be an event coordinator? I don't know. Do I want to hire somebody to be an event coordinator and I'm just the founder of it? Possibly, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to sit back and take some time and truly figure out what it is I want to be investing my time in. And until that time, I'm going to be working on this cabin and making it perfect, and then hosting a beautiful wedding and having all of my friends and family and wonderful people come here and spend their time here with us to celebrate our love. And that's what's truly important this year. Anyway, I know there's a lot of people out there that are let down that I'm not hosting that event this year. But I just don't feel I've got the stamina to host an event like that completely by myself and coordinating that whole effort. I'm hoping that my local friends and dignitaries and so forth that were on board with this event with me will remain patient. I hope I can save some face with the fact that I'm not posting this event or hosting this event this year, and we'll see where it goes. At the end of the day, this is my life, and the whole idea of this event was something that I've had in the back of my mind for the last number of years, and when I met Damon, it was something that he was also interested in doing. And things change, life changes, things come up, and sometimes that's just the way it is, and I have to remain with integrity and honor of my own personal life. That's what's important. And if it turns out that event is something that is meaningful to me, well, then we'll put it on. If it turns out that it's not, well, then I'm not going to put it on. That's just how it is. Anyhow, so always remain true to yourself. Maintain integrity and honor for what is important to you and what you need to be happy and healthy. Well, good morning, my friends. Today we're going to be doing something really, really cool. See this deck behind me? See this porch? We're going to be removing the whole front porch and the deck. We're replacing that with a much, much bigger deck. And then we're going to change the pitch of this roof. Heather always says this looks like our cabin is frowning. So we're going to take this roof off here. We're going to build a roof matching the front of the current cabin here. It's going to come out a little bit further. So we're going to be doing that today. Well, actually, we'll probably start that tomorrow. Today, we're just going to be taking all this stuff off of here and demoing this. Kind of funny. Let's take a look at this here. This deck, this is what it's being held up with. Just little piles of wood, a couple of cinder blocks, some bricks. And on this corner, there's literally nothing holding it up but this little pile.
Oh, boys. Yeah, like, that's a little extreme. No. Better feed the boys. Get them something to drink. I asked if they wanted beers. They said yes. I should bring them one of these. Do you think they're gonna pick the yellow cans, or do you think they're gonna pick the good beer? The brown root beer? Here, you guys get to pick which kind of beer you want.
Hell with that one. That's feathers. All right, should we unload these babies?
Yeah, look at these things. Look how pretty. Look at
Yeah, these are pretty cool. Look at that. It's all sap. So this was an 8x10. We had them cut it down to an 8x8. They gave us the extra here. And over here we got a couple of 8x8s. This one here is 16 feet long. These are 10 feet long. And then over here we've got some, I think these are 3x6s, yeah. 8 feet long. I meant that one was there.
Is this because it was a little bit bigger than the 8? They had to chisel that bottom piece out?
No, this is exactly 8x8. That's 7.5.
What? The heck kind of American measuring is this?
I know, it sucks.
It's the barn raisin.
Well, as you can see behind me, we made a lot of progress today. We got these two 8x8 posts up, and then we got all of the joists for 2/3 of the floor. We got a little bit more to do on this side tomorrow, and then we got to put in all of our hangers. Once we get all the hangers in, then we'll go ahead and lay down the artificial wood floor that we're going to put down, and then we'll be working on the top. But we got some beautiful, beautiful beams today. Some of these here, we have one that's a 16-foot long 8x8 beam. That is a huge beam. It's made of ponderosa pine. We also have some white pine here. It's going to be a really beautiful deck. do a big reveal?
We're gonna do a big reveal. That's for you, viewers.
All right, so as you can see, we got our TimberTech delivered. We had 55 sheets at 20 feet long, should cover this whole thing. Our deck is a little more than 18, maybe 18 and a half, so we'll have to cut about a foot off or so, maybe a foot and a half, something like that. But let me tell you, I had sticker shock. I had Heather call this in and have it delivered for today, and she came out of the cabin and she told me that this was gonna cost how much?
Just over $3,700.
$3,700 for 55 sheets. Holy crap. Well, they get you coming and going, but this should last for a long time.
You lost a screw under the deck.
You even got that camera pointing at me?
Yeah. Well, I need to do it at Heather because she does all the damn work around here. All right, look at these two deck builders right here.
Deck builders.
Dick builders.
Deck builders.
Deck.
Dick?
Screw it, baby. Oh my. Love you.
Ah, look at him. Yeah.
Good job. Good job. Well, as you can see here, we got a lot done today. We got all the joists done, and we started installing the TimberTech, and that girl up there kicks ass. We got about, I would say about a third of it, maybe a fourth of it done. Tomorrow's Easter Sunday, so we probably won't work much. And then on Monday, we've got a couple of appointments, so it's probably gonna be Monday and Tuesday for us to get this finished up. But so far, it's looking really great. It's a much, much bigger deck than I even thought it would be based on just kind of the design of it. We're gonna really enjoy it a lot. Is it dinner time?
Yeah. Come on, chow time.
All right, well, we're back for another day of installing TimberTech. Yesterday we got all the way up to the first post. We're gonna continue all the way across to the next post today. Hopefully we'll get that done. And then hopefully, I guess tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning, we'll have to finish up. I'm wearing my 50 SPF shirt because, well, the sun's pretty intense here. And when it shines down in your neck, you get sunburned pretty bad. And I've been using some sunscreen, but these 50 SPF shirts not only keep the sun off you, but they actually keep you cool. And I'm feeling pretty good in this thing. Got to the side here where we have a post. We've had to do some custom cutting around the post here. And this post is not straight by any means. It's kind of wonky because it's rough sawn. It's a little twisted. So we had to cut this piece here, as you can see. On one end it's 3 5/8 and the other side is 3 1/8. So we'll see how it fits. Ready, here we go. Whoa, look at that. Can we get her to go in? Well, my friends, there you have it. We finished the deck. It was a lot of work. We wanted to quit hours ago, but we both just endured and kept going. And take a look. So as you can see here, we still need to cut the planks off here. We bought 20-foot lengths. Our deck is a 24-foot wide by 18.5-foot deep. And we bought 20s, so we do have to cut off about a foot. But we're gonna do that tomorrow. And then of course, we've got these gigantic 8x8 rough sawn beams here as our posts, and we're gonna put a nice cross beam on there tomorrow. And we'll get the roof built hopefully tomorrow. And then we'll do the roofing on that in the coming days. And then this will be done. This project will be done. And then we're gonna jump right back on the interior. We've got tile work to do on the floors. We've got to tongue and groove our ceilings. And gosh, we got a couple of other things. We got to get our bathroom finished. And we're trying to get all this done before June 18th, which is our wedding, when we're gonna have about 100 people here. And we're gonna host our wedding right here on this deck. And then we've got a beautiful, beautiful lodge that we've rented for the reception and for a welcome party. We've got some live music that we've hired and a caterer and the whole thing. But as you can see right here, we're gonna have chairs out here with an aisle and a staircase coming up. And this is gonna become our altar right here. And then my good buddy, Dan Cronin, the founder of Northwest Overland. Some of you may know about Northwest Overland. Maybe you're even friends with Dan Cronin. He's going to be our officiant. Dan is going to be our officiant. So I'm really excited about that. He's one of my best friends. He and I are cut from the same cloth, and I'm really excited about that.
Shot put that thing, love. The big guns. Or mine. Yeah, right? Do we need to put some on the deck? Today's the day I'm glad I'm just the film crew. It is weightlifting equipment, honey. It is weightlifting equipment. All right, love. What do you think?
I think it looks pretty darn good for what it is. I mean, these beams are green, rough sawn. They're not dried out. They're not kiln dried. They're going to twist a little bit. They're not perfect, but this is a cabin. And what I think I really like about it is that this structure here looks like an old mine shaft, which I think with the stain that you chose to put on here and the hardware that we're adding to it, it really makes it look like it fits with this 45-year-old cabin. So it looks really nice. They don't look new. They look old. They're not perfect. This particular post is a little twisted from the bottom. It goes up and twists.
What's the word? Janky?
It's a little janky.
A little janky.
And because so, it doesn't all fit perfectly, but this is the one on the back of the deck. The one over there where you come up the staircase is quite nice. It's true. I really like what Joe decided to put up here with these little angle supports. Wood, I think that looks really good, and he was able to use up that last 3x6 by 10 or whatever it was. So I think all in all it looks pretty good. We're going to add a few more support beams. We did screw up on one little thing, but overall nobody's going to notice.
Nobody will notice.
I think it's going to come out really, really cool.
Good morning from the
Touch it
cabin.
at the top.
Woo, woo.
All right, as you can see here behind me, we made some progress this morning. We got the rafters up there all stained. Heather went into town to get some tongue and groove. She'll bring that back here. We'll stain all that. We're gonna put that up the long way. And then when we're done with that, we'll put some roofing paper on top of that. Then we have to go into Taos and get some corrugated. We'll bring that back here. We'll rust all that corrugated. We'll get that up here, and then this project will be done. All right, my friends, I think that's it for this episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you haven't become a subscriber of mine, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Of course, be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when videos go live. And if you consider yourself to be an adventurer and you're looking for an adventure community, consider joining me at Team 4X by going to 4expedition.com/join to learn more. Until the next time, take care.